it doesn't matter how good your product is, your vision of the future that you're painting, you will have to coexist with all of the other software that is already powering that successful business, right? Like there's almost like a paradox there. You want to sell to an enterprise, right? And why do you want to sell to an enterprise? Well, because they have a lot of capital and they have interesting use cases. Well, how did they get there? Well, most likely they got there by selling lots of successful products and services. And in 2020 forward, it's very likely that they have some web footprint. So how do you come into that conversation? Do you come into that conversation saying, well, like, it's time to delete all the code and replace it with all this new risky code? Or do you come in with like, look, I understand what pain points you're having. I would have these conversations where like, I would find out that companies were launching massive projects using client-side rendering. And like literally their SEO would drop overnight. Projects literally had to get reverted. I was told about two different stories. One of the largest real estate companies in the world, one of the largest sneaker companies in the world. They had both unsuccessfully rolled out projects to prod, try to use React, but because they were using it client-side, they literally erased millions of dollars in value during their experiments in the form of lost sales or lost SEO. So you started narrowing in on all those pain points. Those pain points later become your playbooks. You start finding out that, well, if company X run into that issue, it's very likely that the next 1,000 companies will also run into that issue. Or you can paint a picture of how you avoid that issue, and you kind of start developing that expertise. So those were some of the things that, again, even in the first 1,000 users, to your question, you could start picking apart those patterns.